This is the world's cheapest red dot. Now we're getting some real issues. I order a lot of red dots for Defense Distributors, which is the web store I own. So we sell Holosuns, we sell SIGs, we sell EOTechs, and we order those all from a couple of large distributors. And I went to these distributors and basically was looking around and playing around and said, what is the cheapest red dot I could possibly order? We don't sell the cheapest red dots because I want to sell red dots that I actually believe in and trust. But as I was looking through the red dots, there was one specific red dot I found that was cheaper than all the rest.
Hey, that's pretty good.
And I basically said, I wonder if it works.
Time to find out.
So here we go, we're gonna unbox it right now. This is my first time opening this. Let's see what we are looking at. Documents inside of there. All right, it's very light foam wrapper, stuff's falling out already. Here is the red dot. So I've already seen some images of this online before I bought it. It's got a very unique look to it. It's an open emitter red dot. It looks like very, very open emitter. You can see the emitter right there. A lot of distance between the glass and that emitter. Very unique looking optic. I can see some similarities with some other optics. So inside the packaging, we've got the red dot, we've got 2 batteries, we've got a cleaning cloth, and we've got a bunch of forms. Mounting your red dot, dovetail, okay, no set eye relief. Cool. So the windage knob is right here on the front and the elevation knob is all the way in the back. Interesting design. So this is everything that is inside the packaging. It's kind of haphazardly thrown in there. We got some packets here. There's batteries, instructional manuals as seen right here, and then the red dot itself, which is quite a unique design for a red dot. This reminds me of some other open emitter reflex red dots, which we will show in a sec. Let's just initially test this, turn it on, see how far we can get. The on-off switch is on the side. It looks like a crappy switch you'd find on some home electronic system. Definitely the least tactical switch I've ever seen on a red dot.
Tactical.
Well, I went to take the battery cover off right here, and it's not a cap, it's a suction fit cap. It doesn't screw on, it doesn't snap on, it just kind of sits there. That's worrying for durability. All right, we got the battery working. Red dot is turned on. Now, one of the limiting factors with this red dot is there is only one brightness setting, and it is about that bright. Just an on-off switch. We'll see how that actually works in a bright environment. That is certainly a limiting factor. Not very good for tactical use on a red dot in multi-environments, but we're gonna deal with it. So we're here at the range, we're gonna go get this zeroed in. I've already zeroed in the laser on this build, so in order to zero it in, first we're gonna confirm that the laser is in fact zeroed, and then we are going to test the red dot to see if we can hit accurate groupings. We're gonna be shooting off of a tripod just because why not? We're trying to actually get an accurate test here. Target is right here downrange. Let's test for groupings first on the laser. Laser we're using is the GL4 Pro we carry at defensedistributors.com. We're still able to get a visual on the target. It is a very bright laser. So if you guys want to support the channel, that's the way to do it. We don't do sponsors, we don't do affiliates, any of that kind of stuff. We just have the store we run. So that's how you can support us, and it is a phenomenal laser. We don't sell this red dot currently. We'll see after the review, but we sell a lot of other red dots that we really trust, so you can pick up a whole bunch. All right, let's get some testing in. Where do I want to aim here? So just for the purpose of this test, we're confirming that we are in fact getting a grouping. It's pretty low. I think that means I have to move back. This red dot doesn't need any tools to adjust the zero, which is another interesting feature of it. It's got these knobs here, and we can just hand turn those. They've got a little Phillips screw on the top so you can tighten the knob. I tried it, it doesn't really work. We'll see how it performs. So we're gonna get that red dot onto the laser. We are in fact able to get it on, getting some problems in zero. Oh, okay, now we're getting some real issues. So the dot itself is actually quite bright. I mean, it's not as bright as a EOTech or Aimpoint or anything like that, but it's bright enough that I am getting a visual on target. Honestly, it's kind of cool. It makes it a little bit easier. Well, it is 100% making the target darker. That's not something you want. I don't know why they did that. I don't know why they tinted the glass. By the way, it's probably not glass, it's probably plexi. So here we're getting into the issues of what's happening before we've even taken a shot with this red dot. So as you can see right here, if I move up and down on the red dot, it might be a little hard to see, but the entire red dot is moving. It will move down below the target. If I press on the back, it will move up to the upper height of the target. And it's not resetting. It's not going back to its position, it's just holding there because the mount is really, really crappy. So we're gonna take a couple initial shots and see which way it shifts. Maybe we can continue the test like that. If it's gonna go up and down the whole time, it's not holding zero. Well, the red dot stayed on the whole time. That's a good sign. The red dot is still on the rifle. That mount is, oh, we got some, one of the nuts on the side looks like it came loose a little bit. That's not good. Holy crap, I'm impressed. That's around, I wish I had marked the original grouping because I don't know where it is now. Probably figured it out on camera. It maintained the same grouping. Holy crap, I didn't expect that. That is really impressive. Now, if I can remember the holes we had, we're getting some outliers here. I could be wrong, honestly. I wish I had marked them. We're gonna fire a couple more shots just to see, and then I'll do some things like I'll tap on it, I'll try to move it around because that's, you know, something that kind of happens with red dots. But this is actually, that's surprising. That is really, really surprising. I didn't think we'd get that out of this dot, so I'm, all right. Wow, this is, again, absolutely incredible. We have a double hit pretty much right here. There's another one slightly below. There might be one missing from this, but the fact that we got 2 in that hole, and that the first one was the first round, then we had a second round hit in the same hole. That's pretty impressive for how much I paid for this dot. Now we're gonna tap it, see how it does for that. I gotta say, so far for the test, I was not expecting this. I thought we were gonna be all over the place. The fact that we are maintaining a somewhat recognizable grouping is quite impressive. So since we're holding low, we are going to now be taking headshots on this target. Hopefully we'll be getting another visible grouping. We'll have to find out. So this is some pretty basic tapping I'm doing. If you bumped into anything, your red dot would be tapped this much. And most don't move like this, so we'll see how it does. This is more interesting. So as you can see on the target, we got one up here. I'm aiming dead center head, which this is similar groupings as we were getting before when I was aiming lower on the center. We're getting one up here, one way down here in the 8. That's interesting. And the other one, I'm not seeing. Now that's not to say we didn't actually hit it. That might be a double. I really doubt it though. So this is a little inconclusive. We're gonna tap it again and do the exact same test 3 more times, see what we get. They're all hitting low, so let's do it again and find out just so we can get some more conclusive data. There also might be an effect happening with this build where we are tapping and moving out of position, and you saw how much it wobbled, but as we're taking that first shot, it is resetting itself into its natural position just based on movement. This will tell us now, based on if we get 2 on target or 3 on target. I think that was a double. All right, look at this. So this is our first shot, I believe, and these 2 are our second shot. So this is fascinating. All right, so let's explain these results. This is confirming my theory of what's happening with this dot. Our first hit, I'm pretty sure, is going up here, and that's now hitting the reset point. We're getting some movement on the dot. It's resetting to its natural position with the crappy mount. And our next 2 hits are right down here. And as we can see, these 2 are new. So that one, I'm pretty certain was a double, which means outside of the first shot, this dot's looks like it's holding 0, or at least a recognizable grouping. We're not very far back, we're maybe 15, 20 yards, but that's impressive for how crappy the dot feels. I'm pleasantly surprised. So we're gonna pull it out of the tripod now, and I'm gonna do some walking. So I'm gonna start from here, I'm gonna get closer and closer. We'll do 3 shots that way, see how that goes. In fact, since we know it's doing okay, we might as well start a little further back. We'll start from here, see what we can do with that. Again, we got some pretty stunning results for this red dot. I thought this was just gonna be an easy video. Oh look, budget red dot, it sucks. And it's halfway decent for what it's supposed to do. A pretty center line hit group right here. 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. But these are characteristics that are common with what I was doing there. And we're holding horizontally just fine. The vertical is indicative of the drill I was doing. We're obviously hitting lower than the target. So in terms of usability as well of this red dot, there are some factors to consider with it as we are using it. The glass is tinted, but the window's small, which means even though when I'm downrange here on my target, yeah, the target's darker. If I was in some area with heavy foliage or shadows, it may be harder to see that target. We're here on the flat range, not really a problem. However, because that window's small, if we're shooting with both of our eyes open, which we should be, those images are being paired together in my brain. It's not actually that much of a problem. So right here on the flat range, yes, it's tinted. It's not a huge hindrance. I thought it was gonna be a bigger hindrance. There are some downsides to the system if there's only one brightness setting. And that being said, I mean, it's high noon here at Texas. This is the brightest it's gonna be all day. I can see the dot. I'm really impressed for what this red dot I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be trash. I thought it was gonna be all over the place. We weren't gonna be able to get hits, which is why I actually brought a Holosun 510C, which I'll go grab. And we may have to switch up the order of the videos. That's a note to whoever's editing this. Let's put a magnifier behind this red dot, see how it magnifies. I don't think it's gonna perform well, we're gonna find out. Lined up perfectly with the red dot, so we should get a pretty good image. It is not the worst image I have seen. It's better than some of the more expensive ones in this that I've used. We are getting a blown out image, the red dot's blurry. I'll try to see if I can get some photos for you guys. Much more comfortable on the 1X. When we try to magnify, it works. At distance is problematic, but I could 100% make shots with this. 100%. This is usable. It's uncomfortable, it's blurry, it's not nice. I can still make shots on it. The dot is visible. The other problem with this, because the window is so small, we're actually getting some window visibility, or the plastic housing visibility, on the top and the bottom. That's not pleasant, especially when you're trying to find that eye box. That's not cool. So I wouldn't say it magnifies well. Does it magnify? Yeah. There's two other red dots I brought to compare this with. One is the Holosun 510C. This is an excellent red dot, and it's most similar in design to this, you know, same similar shape, about 10x the price, but very similar. You can get these at defensedistributors.com as well. The other red dot I brought is this little dot. I bought these a while back as toys, and I probably bought these for $2 to $3, and they're complete trash. The images was not what I got, and we're gonna compare it, so let's throw it on. So I'm trying to take this red dot off, and I've tightened the screw accidentally, and it won't come out now. It seems that I've actually indented the plastic on one of these sides. All right, red dot off, let's swap this one on. At least the other budget dot had screws that you could tighten. This one has thumb screws on the side, and they're all made of plastic. Again, I don't think there's recoil lugs. I can see there is a green light on it. Green light's not showing up on target. The other problem with the etched reticle in it is it's just literally a cut in the plexi. When I try to see the target with that, it's all blurry all over the place. So we know the rifle's zeroed. This is on, I don't know. Honestly, for this test, let's turn the laser on again, and we'll be using the laser for our point of reference. Trying to illuminate with a blurry etched reticle that you can't see the target and the reticle at the same time. You're just kind of making out a light shape over the top of the target. That was not fun. And you guys saw my shooting earlier. I wasn't doing anything crazy, but we were putting recognizable groups on target. There's one down there. Who knows, maybe all of our groups were down here, and maybe I should just be hitting high. And in fact, let's do that. Ah, look at that. I got a little grouping there. Not as good as we were getting before, but not halfway bad. The problem with this red dot, I don't actually think is even the zero. It's okay for the distance we're doing it at. I know we're kind of cheating at this difference. The problem with this red dot is the reticle, because I can't see through it. How am I supposed to make that shot? Look at that. Look at that reticle. How on earth am I supposed to make a shot through that? So that's actually the problem we're seeing with this reticle. It's the fact that I can't see through it. I'm actually really surprised with this red dot. So final conclusions, no, it's not a duty red dot. It will probably smash if I throw it on the ground. It doesn't hold zero well, but it does hold a grouping that is measurable after you take the first shot, and that's impressive. So I'm intrigued by this, and I might do some more testing with it, but don't buy this for duty use, please. If you want red dots you can actually use for duty use, go to the link in the description, defensedistributors.com.